Have you ever noticed that when you're a quiet person, a person that sticks to themselves, you don't really engage in conflict or any type of drama? You don't engage with family drama. You don't engage with coworker drama at your job. You don't engage in school gossip at your class or any type of drama or problems that come from that. You kind of just stick to yourself and just mind your business. And have you noticed that as the quiet one, the attention always comes to you. You always seem to attract negative energy. People always think that you're up to something or you're planning or plotting like some type of demon sorcerer inside of an anime. And really you're just thinking, contemplating, or you're just trying your best to cope by playing video games, reading manga, watching your anime, doing whatever it is that you do in order to try to feel better in the world that you feel like you don't fit in and you don't belong in. When you're a quiet person, people seem to take, some type of disrespect to that because you don't constantly engage with them. You don't like talking about petty nonsense. You don't like talking about small little things. Like small talk is one of your weaker things because when you talk about certain things, you want to make sure you're talking about something that you know, that you're well rounded in, and something that you're really interested in. But in certain situations, like Thanksgiving, like Christmas time, where you're forced to be around family, since I don't really have any family and um, those days are long gone for me. I'm never going to have Christmases or Thanksgiving again like how I used to when I was younger because my grandma passed away and my whole family, my immediate family, just over the last few years, just are all gone. They all left this realm of existence. And other people though, other people that have these type of things, you're going to be asked certain questions and you're going to be judged on how you respond. If you're just sitting there quiet, you're always the quiet odd one out. Everybody likes to focus on you. They like to put their insecurities and put their attention on you, and it's absolutely brutal when you're a quiet person. And when it comes to trying to find a girl or dating, women pick up on that because a quiet guy in the eyes of a woman is somebody that doesn't really get a lot of women, you know? And women just look at that. They just look at you and they look at the situation and say, oh, that's why he's quiet. I mean, look at him. And it's absolutely brutal. But if you're an attractive guy and you're quiet, that's eluding confidence. You know what I mean? And if you're a guy that's not traditionally attractive and you try to be social and you try to talk and you try to interact, they're going to show you real quick, that they don't like that, and they're going to try to quote unquote put you in your place and make it be known that it's not acceptable for you to try to be happy and talk and be jubilant and try to talk around them because based on how you look like, and it's absolutely brutal. We live in a looksism world where you're judged on the way you look. Like people, they automatically judge you within seconds, within a snap of a finger. They take one look at you. Like a female takes one look at you and she can tell within seconds whether she wants to engage in adult activities with you or not. And for guys in our position, we already know the answer to that. And if you're a quiet guy, other guys may see you, people in your family, people at your job, people, whatever, just wherever you go, you're too quiet or you're too isolated. People may see that and they might want to try to intimidate you, try to bully you, try to talk over you, try to just do these little passive aggressive male dominant behaviors towards you. And just like, what the hell? Because in your personality and your mind, you're in your own world. You're a quiet person because life has thrown so much turmoil at you. Life has been total hell for you. You've been through so much pain that you just want to isolate your brain and keep everything, away from you. Everything that's bad, you want to just put it away. You want to get away from it. But when you lock yourself inside your room, as they say, and they think you're just sleeping all day or doing nothing in your room or rotting in your room, as they say, but they don't know what you're doing. You could be actually building something that takes a long time to fully get, functional, or you could just be trying to cope. They don't know your pain and your reality. You're quiet for a reason because the world has taught you to be quiet based on how you look like. And that's just the brutal reality, This world will treat you a certain way and then get mad when you actually act that certain way when you're a guy that's not traditionally attractive and you don't fit into the mainstream ideologies. And it's brutal. When you're a quiet person, man, you become more observant. You start to look around. You start to see, like, okay, that person is an evil person. That person, okay, this person right there, they talk a lot of game and woo, woo, woo. That person right there, okay, they really about it. Okay, that person, I don't know. Like, you kind of scan the room when you're in places, and then you try to blend in. But then eventually, if you're the only one not talking, people think that's weird. You know, you ever get into a conversation with people and they're just talking and they're coming up with jokes and they're laughing. You feel like you don't really fit in. And then if you stay silent too long without laughing or commenting because the conversation they're having is just not interesting to you. You want to talk about things that you're interested in, but they're just talking about, maybe political differences, or they're talking about certain things like, who won the football game or the ball game. You're just not interested in those things. You're more interested in more sophisticated knowledge. You're more interested in more sophisticated things, you know things that actually spark your mind and spark the creativity in your soul, things that make you think critically and deeply so you can come up with a firmer analysis, such as wondering, why are we here? Why were we created? And how come this life feels like there's so much pain and animosity with a high velocity towards us? So many souls are suffering from poverty, from lack of real education, suffering from indoctrination, and suffering for all things that bring on the flames and devastation of a nation. And you start to think to yourself, is there something wrong with me? Is this why I'm so quiet and I don't really talk to that many people? I kind of keep to myself. I don't bother nobody. Is it really me? No, it's not you. You're given a natural response to an unnatural world. This world doesn't like quiet people because quiet people, points a mirror at other people. Some people, they feed and they live off drama. They need to walk around loud, talking loudly, laughing loudly, trying to make their presence known. Meanwhile, you're just sitting there quiet, isolated, and thinking to yourself or building something up in total secrecy. And then when you finally build something up in total secrecy and they find out about it, let's say you got a YouTube channel and a family member finds out about it because their friends told them about it, or, some people at your school find out about it or whatever, and now they're secretly watching you, talking crap, trolling you on alternate accounts, telling all their friends your business or whatever that you have on your channel. And that's a violation of privacy, because if you didn't tell that family member or anybody about your YouTube channel, and then your YouTube channel gets big enough and more popular enough where it actually becomes accessible to many people, to one of their friends find it. Do you know how rare that is for most people? I've known people that I used to talk to, on YouTube, that I've been on Xbox Live, and they have YouTube channels for like 11 years, and the most subscribers they have is like 117, and their family still doesn't know they make content. So it's not until your content really starts hitting, really starts affecting people, really starts getting bigger, that you're going to encounter things like that. But the fact you have people watching you, monitoring you, and then utilizing information against you, but they're not watching you because they want to support you. They're watching you because they want to compare your life. They're watching you because they want to see you fall. They're watching you because they want to see you fail. They just want to see what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're talking about. And it's like they have like, oh, well, I know what he's doing. I got my eye on him. I'm watching him. I'm making sure he doesn't get more bigger than me. And it's just like, those people are people you got to stay away from. I've never thought about it like that. When I create my content, it's just for me and the people that are going through things that I'm going through, and we have similar type of mindsets. It's not the crap of nobody, because if I wanted people to know my channel, I would have said that I had 3,000 subscribers, 500,000 all-time views, and I got, videos with thousands and thousands of views and all that. And I could have told, certain people, but I didn't. I kept it to myself because it wasn't their business. It was my business, But then, this world has a way, when you're minding your business, being quiet, to try to turn that against you. And silence is one of your most powerful weapons, because a lot of people talk and they reveal a lot of stuff. In this channel, I talk and I'm pretty transparent, with my life and the things I'm going through, because this was the purpose of my channel when I first started it, But that's because I don't really care what people think. I'm an honest and raw, real person. I don't really care. I'm just gonna tell you the real and tell you the truth. And I think that attracts certain people, and it attracts negative connotations and associations as well. It attracts random trolls who feel magnetic to your voice. There's something about your voice that they just feel magnetic to. There's millions of people around the world, who have those channels where it's like, "Hey guys, welcome, like and subscribe," and they're always flipping, the video every 2 seconds, and they're having loud noises and sounds and crazy pictures and crazy faces and all that, and they may get millions of views and all that, but when you actually just tell the truth about this world and you speak it with with your heart and soul and passion, you're going to attract all types of people. You're going to attract real ones that recognize real, because real recognize real, and you're going to attract people that are fake. And they look at you and it's like you're holding a mirror to their own fakeness, So they'll watch you in the shadows secretly, They'll come on your channel and stalk you. And they're not gonna leave any comments because they don't want to leave any breadcrumbs and any trails now. But when you had other channels, they had no problem commenting and talking and then doing this, that, and the third. But now they've gotten smarter and wiser because they know they done doxed you, they know they done messed up, and they know that if it leads back to them, there can be legal repercussions. And so they don't want that, so they just watch you from the shadows and don't say anything. It's weird. When all I ever wanted to do was just be a quiet person that mind my business. And when you're a quiet person that minds their business, people seem to automatically want to attack you. They automatically want to try to put a target on your back and try to, just go at you for no reason. It's brutal, and it's everywhere you go in this world. Quiet people are the ones that are seen as odd. And it's like, so we're odd because we see the world for what it really is, and we choose just to just refrain from the negativity and just want to remain by ourselves. So we're the weird ones. What about these people that are faking happiness? Look at the world around you. Look at the chaos. Look at the political turmoil. Look at the economic devastation that's hitting this nation. Look at all of that. How can anybody smile and be happy and act like it's not happening? That's the odd ones. Those are the ones that are weird. Most of us, man, we just want peace, quiet, and tranquility. But a lot of us grew up in a lot of, toxic type of households with all types of characters and people with their own insecurities and emotional miseries, and they, and then you grow up like that, and then some of us had dreams and ambitions we wanted to accomplish when we were younger, but because of the evil god of this world, Yadaboth, we weren't able to do those things because this world is not what it seems. This world was literally created for soul harvesting or negative energetic manifestational frequencies, meaning that you're put in certain positions on purpose. It's on purpose why you wanted to be successful at something and it never happened for you, but then somebody becomes successful in what you want to become successful in within a year or two or within a month. This person just started making music a couple of months ago. Now they made $100,000. This person just started, a YouTube channel the other day, and now their channel, whatever. This person, you know what I'm saying? This person just started learning how to fly a plane a few months ago. Now they're an ace pilot, whatever it is, and you're just like, because it was meant for that person. Life is rigged against certain people. I don't care what anybody says. It's the truth. This is what the Gnostics were talking about thousands of years ago. This world is a rigged system. We live in a matrix. We live in a matrix makeshift realm reality. You ever wonder why certain people are born into rich, powerful families, and they're beautiful, they're attractive, they have everything you can imagine and dream, and then you're born with people around you who are envious, jealous, spiteful, and just they don't want to see you succeed, don't want to see you do better than them. That's not real. That's not a real, genuine soul you're surrounded by. There's a lot of iniquities and things people do to you, and when it happens at a young age, it can affect you in the future. That's what people don't understand. The things you go through when you were younger, when you were quiet and alone and didn't bother nobody, you're the quiet kid in class, but you're the one that everybody wants to pick on. I was always a quiet one, in class for the most part. But the teachers always isolate me and kick me out of the class for no apparent reason. Even when students told them, hey, he wasn't even talking. A few times people stood up and defended me and said, hey, no. And even one time, there's one guy, like the teacher sent me outside. He's like, I'm going outside because I was the one that talked. I messed up that he has to go outside. He walked to the door. Teacher told him to sit down, And ever since then, I noticed, I was like, why are these people picking on me and targeting me? Because it was the demiurge of this realm. There's something inside of me that I have, and the other people who are listening probably have too, if you're not a troll or somebody trying to spy on me or don't like me, but you're listening anyway, which is weird. But certain people like us, the true ones, the real ones, we're different from everybody else. We're different from the society. We're different from the ideologies of mainstream indoctrinations and associations. We're different from that. And the world will pick up on that, and the world will treat you like you're a problem, like you're a cancer that's inside of its body, and it tries to cease you from spreading. So it's going to put you in situations, it's going to put you around people that's going to lead to your emotional isolation, or it's going to try to break you. It's going to put you in situations that you don't want to be in. You don't want to be homeless. You don't want to be in a situation where you're surrounded by people who don't like you. You don't want to be around stuff like that, but the world will find a way to put you in those situations. You don't want to work that crappy job. You want to be able to be a famous animator. If not famous, you want to be able to be an animator, to be whatever it is you want to be, and to make money from your talents and your attributes and the things that make you happy and bring you joy and purity in life. But the world doesn't want that. The world wants you in situations where you're constantly going through pain, agony, and misery, so that way you can keep on producing this negative energetic manifestational frequency that these beings feed off of in another dimension. You know, it's absolutely brutal.